would be wrong of me not to ask you, what on earth is happening in National League Rugby?
Yeah, I know we've kind of chatted for a bit longer than usual today, Mark, so we'll keep it brief. But yeah, brilliant time to get involved with National League Rugby if you can. I know you talk on your Substack, Mark, about people getting down to the local rugby club, but this is the time in the season to do it. The sun's shining. It's great to get down to a rugby club, and the season's bubbling away nicely. National One yet again looks like it might go down to the wire. Richmond and Rotherham up the top of the table, 5 points separating them, and they do have to play each other in a couple of weeks' time. So we could have a bit of a title decider, not for the first time in the last few years in National League Rugby. Sedgley Park, always a shout out to them, but they may have a say in it. They play Richmond this coming weekend at Park Lane. They also play Roslyn Park, I think, in the next couple of weeks as well, so Roslyn sitting third on the table, not quite out of the conversation yet, but yeah, really looking like it could be one of those seasons again, a National One, Mark. And yeah, across National 2, certainly the big stories of the week were at the bottom of National 2 North. Billingham getting a good win against Lynn to move out of the bottom 2, getting very tight down in the bottom of National 2 North, and then the title races in National 2 East and West taking a bit of a twist. With Camborne surprisingly losing away at Luctonians, meaning 1 point separates them and second place Clifton. And after it looked like Tunbridge Judians might be in the complete control of the National 2 East title race, a couple of back-to-back defeats has potentially opened the door for Barnes and maybe even Dorking again. So, as I said, right at the top, brilliant time to get involved in National League Rugby and still plenty to play for with just 4 games to go.
Yeah, I've got to say, Camborne have been one of my keep an eye out teams. So I was quite surprised about the 25-17 loss to Luctonians. But hey, going to Luctonians ain't easy.
No.
I never really felt comfortable watching Sedge at Luctonians. It's quite a hostile crowd, and they do play a different brand of rugby once they're at home.
Yeah, I think, with my National League nerd hat on again, I think Camborne actually lost there last year. But, given the form Camborne were in going into this game, I think they were 10 unbeaten. Luctonians weren't in the best form. I think it was 4 or 5 defeats in a row. You kind of had, Camborne could do it this year. But as you say, Mark, the crowd really get behind them. And Luctonians were brilliant defensively in the second half to shut out Camborne. So, yeah, one of the surprise results of the weekend, but it certainly makes things interesting.
And, coming into this season, my tip for promotion from National One was Plymouth Albion. And up until this weekend, I thought they were on a resurgence. But 54-0. Yeah. Whoa, that surprised me.
Definitely.
The Rotherham revival looks good. And Vovo Papa on Twitter messaged me to say, forget Richmond, it's all about Rotherham, this title race. So, Dave, if you're watching this, thanks for that insight. If people do have any tips for how National 1 and National 2 are going to finish, drop them into the comments. Please like, follow, subscribe, give it the thumbs up. It all helps spread the word about rugby union and particularly about National League Rugby, which is so important. And wherever you are, there'll be a National League game close to you. Get along, watch it, buy a pint, buy a pie, have a lemonade, have a bag of chips, do what you want, but get out and watch some live rugby and enjoy it. Chris and I always enjoy live rugby, but most of all, we enjoy being in the clubhouse and giving you all the benefit of our musings. So, goodbye from me.
Thanks for having me as always, Mark. Great to be back in the clubhouse, and we'll see you next time.
So that was an extract from In the Clubhouse with Chris Earl at Senior Mash. National League Rugby, very important, been giving you our insights. And I've been giving my own insights here on Substack. Some fascinating results this last weekend. Rotherham beating Sedgley Park 38-29. And you'll see at the top of the league table, Richmond, Rotherham, Roslyn Park. They seem to be the teams to watch, and could it be Rotherham with a late surge? I think there's a distinct possibility that that is going to be the case. So if you're close by, get down and watch some games. National League 2 North, Leeds Tykes appear to be pulling away from it, and Sheffield and Lim doing their utmost to stay in the fight. At the bottom, it's Billingham, Hull and Harrogate. Meanwhile, we head into National 2 East. Tonbridge Jordanians at the top, but Barnes hot on the heels, as are Dorking. And then National League 2 West, it's Camborne, Clifton, Taunton, and it's getting close up there. And I do think both Clifton and Camborne are well positioned to have a late charge. Elsewhere, we looked at the Six Nations conclusion, and congratulations to the French team taking the title. Well deserved. England, pleased to see your success. It was interesting to see that Robert Rees on Twitter showed how many tackles, combined carries and rucks Jack Morgan had hit during the competition. 311, staggering. And I think Jack Morgan really has put his hand up for a place on that flight to Australia with the British and Irish Lions. But also look at those Scots, Darge, Ferguson, impressive stats. With the line-out, it's been interesting. The 100% line-out throwers were Jamie George and Julien Marchand. Now, both of them coming off the bench on a number of occasions, but good to see their arrows being superbly handled. And back in National League, it was great to see Rotherham Rugby presenting Matt Riley with a plaque honouring his 457 games in the professional era, and quite an achievement and a real hero of Sedgley Park Tigers, and look forward to catching up with Matt very soon. Watching the women's final from the Stonex, I couldn't get over just how good we were in seeing women's rugby showcased so perfectly, and Maud was just outstanding. One other thing that I looked to was Cambridge Rugby and Cambridge University Rugby Union Football Club announcing a 3-year partnership for the promotion of rugby in the city. You've only got to look at Bath University and Bath Rugby to see how important that is. Premiership Cup winners, Bath, and well deserved. Good to see Rurid McConaughey and Cam Redpath figuring in those victories. And importantly, the acknowledgement made of the university relationship and the university coaching team, including Mark Lilly and, for me, a real stalwart of the club and the university, and Ryan Davis. Good to see them holding that trophy. And for now, that's it from at seniormash Talking Rugby Union. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it the thumbs up. Do subscribe, like, follow or comment. It'll be on my Substack, it'll be on YouTube, and it's on Spotify. So until we're together next time, thank you, and look forward to being with you to talk more about rugby union.